Happy November. We are heading into a hazardous season if you are on a wellness journey. And so today we're going to talk about some of the road hazards, and we're going to talk about our saboteurs who's sabotaging us on our road to, on our journey to optimal wellness. So today is the Saboteur Smackdown. Dun, 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 dun. The crowd roars. All right. So we're going to stop spinouts before they start on our road, on our journey to optimal wellness. And I don't know if you can see it down in the corner, but it is No-Nonsense November. So let's get into this. So we are on the road to optimal wellness. But what do we hear? Some of the road hazards are in our minds, not on the road. When we're saying to ourselves, just one taste, that won't hurt so much. Or just one more bite, that's not going to make such a difference. Or just one slice, you know what I'm talking about. Or I can make up for it later. Or even more, we're going to talk about more. So all of that is just nonsense. So this is No-Nonsense November. So tonight, tonight, we're going to name the saboteur voices that nudge us off track. And we're going to put instead the coach voice that's going to keep us moving through the holidays. So what derails you most in November? Cravings. Like you want comfort food, you're feeling chilly, you want, the lights are low. Chaos in your schedule. Holiday gatherings. You're just tired of being disciplined and fighting the good fight. You just want to take a break. Or you just haven't had enough sleep, so you need something to keep you going. What is it? All right, let's see. My controls are a little finicky. There we go. So we don't want to just, we want to stay on track, right? And so it's not always the driving off the cliff, right? It's the little decisions, the little drifts, as we call it, from our path. It's almost, I'll reset in the new year. That's a saboteur script. Emotional emotional eating is not a hunger problem. It's a way of soothing yourself, relieving some kind of stress. We need to know the difference. So today we're going to catch the scripts of the saboteur and we're going to switch to coach voice. Now there's a great article in healthline.com that talks about how your brain can sabotage your diet. Now it was talking specifically about summer, but your brain can sabotage your diet any time of year, including the fall. And I'm going to put a link to this article in the description. So you'll be able to click on it and get all the goodness out of it. But I want to just have a little real talk right now. We don't have the luxury to get off track. I've heard just in the last week, I've heard all of the saboteur voices from different places, from different people saying, oh, I just miss my olive oil, or I just want to just have some fried chicken. I don't even want it to pass my lips in in words, but and I want to say there's a difference. I should have made a slide for this, but there's a difference between the saboteurs and Nisrati syndrome. Now, some of you might not remember when I talked about Nisrati syndrome. That is not so random acts of temporary insanity. That's when you have a plan, you go in for a plan, but you are so nutritionally deprived that your gut microbiome and your brain just completely short circuit your plans, and you go insane temporarily and order the number one in the drive through, or planning to get a salad, right? And I mean, it's a thing. But the saboteur, that's planning. The office parties are coming up, and that Mary Sue is bringing her macaroni and cheese, and you want to eat some of that macaroni and cheese. That's planning ahead of time. So we've got to really watch and plan for and counter our saboteurs. Because why? There are real consequences when you get off track. You can have energy crashes. That affects your work. That affects your decisions. That affects your workouts. Blood sugar swings. Oh my goodness. You can tell, right? In the office place sometimes, or you could tell in your family when someone's had too much sugar and they're crashing. Or you could tell on yourself when you've eaten something and it's gone, but now you're craving more of it. And then absolutely belly fat is an issue. Your insulin resistance, your mood, your blood sugar affects all of that. Inflammation spikes, joint pain, poor sleep, lower resilience, microbiome misfires. Oh my goodness. It is a second brain. Your gut microbiome and your gut nerves, your gut neurotransmitters are like a second brain, and they can become very powerful, and they weaken the willpower. Loss of momentum. You start and you start and you start, and then you make a mistake and you're out of the game. Your stewardship or your leadership suffers. The people you serve need you to be steady. Time and money. It takes you longer to recover. And then you go spending money on things to try to keep going, like those, $11 lattes. So when you get off track, you lose your position. Your brakes overheat. Your tires wear out. But when you hold the line, you can finish faster with less damage. So today's game plan, we've got 3 secrets and a bonus for you. We're going to spot the saboteurs, we're going to flip the script, and we're going to hold our speed. All right, so before we get to the secrets, I want to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Lisa Singletary, MD, MPH, CWHC, just in case this is your first time with me. I'm also known as the 100-pound weight loss specialist. As someone who's personally lost over 150 pounds, I have developed the 5 M's of total transformation to help you on your journey to optimal wellness. And the 5 M's are mindset, macronutrients, micronutrients, motion, and measurement. And today, Royal Blue, it's Mindset Day. Every Saturday, every month, we cycle through the 5 M's. And, when there are only 4 Saturdays in a month, we have to pair 2 of them together, and we pair different ones every time. So it's always exciting what's going to happen, what's going to come up. But I do want you to know I am a board certified family physician who has retired. I have a master's degree in public health, which is why I love all of these studies and really digging into them and seeing, that's really not what the numbers are saying. Or, yeah, this really backs up what we thought. I'm a certified holistic health coach, and I'm passionate about your empowerment for transformation. Now, 2006, I was running on the track. I was active, but I was a very, very heavy girl. I had the gift of motion though. But in 2008, I gave up ballroom dancing. I gave up my medical practice. I went home to take care of my parents. And 8 years later, I needed my father's wheelchair just to get around the house. I needed a miracle. Now, in health and wellness, we don't talk about miracles. And I'm not going to tell you I found a miracle, but I can tell you I needed one. However, this slide is also my disclaimer slide. So I have to say, this is not medical advice. This is not a medical consultation. This is not a second opinion. Your insurance is not going to pay for me, even though it's open enrollment. You can't enroll for me. Um, and I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna tell you I found a miracle, but I needed one. And I will say I found something that changed the trajectory of my life. And this is a chart of my weight through the years. I've been on a diet, quote unquote, since I was 6. And I can remember my weight at various points in life. And I put it on a chart one day and I was shocked at the pattern. But I was also pleasantly surprised because when I learned the secrets that I'm sharing with you today, my life and my weight trajectory changed dramatically. In 2015, I was over 400 pounds. Actually, probably closer to 430. I don't really know because I didn't have a scale that measured that high, but I was up there, right? And I after 8 months on nutrition, I was 85 pounds down. And I, through the years since then, continued the journey. I've added more things that I know, things that I share with you. And um, I'm happy to be with you today. Again, continuing the journey. All right, so to the secrets. Secret number 1, we want to spot the saboteurs. So let's name some of these saboteurs. There's the perfectionist. That's all or nothing. Like if I make one little mistake, that's it. It's out of the, it's all out the window. The people pleaser. Oh, Aunt Mary will be so um, disappointed if I don't taste her pie. And so I'm just going to eat it. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to make her sad. I want her to know I appreciate her pie. And she wants to see my face when I taste it. So, okay. The procrastinator. Ah, this is okay. Just one weekend. I can get back on track on Monday. Or it's just few parties through the holidays. I'll get back on track in January. That's the procrastinator. Or the pause. I'm just tired of missing out. I want to eat whatever I want to eat. And that's it. So, what's our action step for identifying the saboteur? Hear it. Hear the line, label it, and if you want to take it to another level, log it, write it down, and you can start to see a pattern. Which one of the saboteurs is affecting you the most or the strongest? Which one talks loudest for you? Secret number 2, we're going to flip the script. We want our coach voice to come in. So we've got some turnarounds. Keep it short, keep it coachy, keep it kind. Progress meets perfect. If you make a little slip, just make your next bite right, or your next right, but take the next right bite. Your relatives are pushing food at you. love them, but also love your goals. One strategy, you can make 2 good choices before dessert even comes. And you can close the loop with our 10-minute walk after the meal, make it a little longer maybe, and making sure you stay hydrated, and that includes your minerals. So we want to, when you're in a spin, when you start to slide, how do you regain your control? You just light little inputs, light changes. You don't want to over correct because that can blow the whole game too. So let's have some strategies. If blank happens, then I will blank. So if I'm offered a second serving, then I will ask for, I should take out the sparkling. I'll ask for water or talk. And actually, what I'm going to ask for is in the second one. If the dessert tray arrives, then you could choose one favorite and savor 3 slow bites. Just savor it, love it, and then put the fork down. Or if you have in your purse a little packet of my secret weapon, you can mix up a little pumpkin spice protein shake. That is one of my main strategies for getting through dessert time during the holidays. Giving your body something that's good, the protein, knowing it's delicious, and you're right there with the holiday flavor, the holiday vibe with that pumpkin spice. If I overeat, 10-minute walk, no drama. Get right back on track. Secret number 3, hold the holiday line. Minimums beat perfection. So just have some non-negotiables that you're going to do every day, even on party days. Track your streaks, not just your pounds, and keep your measuring tape handy. Remember the waist to height ratio, or just measuring your waist circumference once a week. That can help to keep you on track too. And celebrate when you're gaining ground on your health goals. Celebrate your traction, not think of it as restriction, but you are making progress. So, what are some non-negotiables you can use? Start with these. Protein and produce first. That 10-minute post-meal walk. And getting the essential nutrients, the micronutrients that you need to fill the nutrient gaps. Bonus secret, raise your octane. All right, let's talk about it. In an engine, you have the right fuel and the right coolant, you're going to have fewer sputters. You know, when you put that high octane gas in, your engine just purrs a little bit differently. So what is our fuel? It's the protein, the minerals, the B vitamins, the omega-3s. We want to have top quality. The coolant, we want antioxidant-rich produce, anti-inflammatory swaps, and supplements. Hydration and electrolytes. Our thirst masquerades as cravings or hunger. Don't get it twisted. You're not hungry, you're thirsty. Or you don't necessarily want Chinese food, you want nutrients. So no offense to Chinese food, but you don't want that thing you think you're craving. Your body's begging you for nutrition. And keep your motion as one of your main strategies, that 10-minute glucose walk after your biggest meal. And you want to have that within 60 minutes of the meal, right? So high octane plus proper coolant, you're going to have power under pressure. And here's the strategy for you. The 5-5-5 pit pause. 5 deep box breaths. So those are breaths where you inhale on the count of 4, hold it, exhale on the count of, count of 4, and then hold it for another count of 4. And it's like making a box with your breathing. 5 ounces of water or that protein shake, right? And 2 simple steps we talked about when your waist to hip ratio is high. Number 1, and this is repetitive. First, focus on the protein and the produce and leave the carbs in the dust. And then wait 5 minutes. So this is the third 5. Wait 5 minutes before eating. Just take a pause. And that's our 5-5-5 pit pause. Alrighty, so today we discovered the secrets. Catch the saboteur lines. Use the turnaround scripts. The 5-5-5 pause. I like that one. If, then, be ready. If this happens, then I will do that. And fuel up before the festivities. Cool your metabolism down after with that 10-minute walk. Alrighty, so we are deep into fall. We're in November, so the theme for November is seasonal sync mastery. But you know what? I think we're going to have a little bit of mindset every week because we need to know what's going on. So, but next week is macronutrient week, and we're going to talk about the protein and produce playbook. Fast plates for holiday busy weeks. So we're really going to dig into strategies for eating during the holidays. Reminder, ding, 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 ding. We fall back tonight, midnight or 2 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. The clocks fall back to 1 a.m. So just anyway, before you go to bed, turn your clocks back tonight. I hope you were on our sliding into the time change journey with us for the last 4 weeks, because if that's the case, it's going to be no problem for you or your pets. But we might have a little bit of adjustment if we didn't prepare. But tonight's the night. Alrighty. So thank you for joining me today on Total Transformation Secrets. Now you might have just found me on YouTube. Someone gave you the YouTube link tonight. But I want to invite you to join me live. And to do that, just scan the QR code or get registered at drlisasingletary.online/live-Zoom. And if you're here live with me, don't forget we have our watch party tonight. So this very recording is going up on YouTube at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be live in the chat with you for the premiere. I can't wait. And you can find me at Dr. Lisa Singletary. That's my YouTube channel. Alrighty. So, yes, the red Corvette is going to ride again. And those of you who are here with me live, stay with me because we're going to have a little chat, a little Q&A, maybe dig into some of these saboteurs and make some if-then strategies. So we have fun after the call. You want to join me live. So, but live or recorded, I love you all. Mwah.